Tripping a little bit over the frets because this is a 7/8 guitar, and that's the subject of my analyses today. And you know, you've heard from my previous videos, I don't mess with too many undersized guitars, but I do like these Ortega R121 R22, sorry, R122 spruce or cedar for the undersized guitars. They do them from the half size up, and you know, for an undersized junior guitar, they're made just as well as their full-size models, and all under 200. So you know, for an all laminate classical guitar with good parts, reasonable sound, and always with Ortega a really fantastic gig bag. I mean, a really good $45–50 padded gig bag with their products, which I really like. You know, I had a lady that was searching for a 3/4 guitar for her kid to start school with this coming semester, whenever they start, I'm not sure. And I talked her into this, and she's one of those people that set up an appointment like days out, you know, like, oh, I can come next Wednesday. And, you know, I braced myself in those situations because, you know, when you set an appointment and it takes 3 or 4 days for that time to come, something always comes up. And of course, she contacted me and said, I'm going to go another route. There's somebody who has a 3/4 size acoustic guitar and, you know, blah, blah. And I feel sorry for her because she actually talked herself out of a really well-made guitar, and the quarter-size guitars are considerably smaller. Those of you who have messed with undersized guitars, they're considerably smaller than 7/8 guitars. 7/8 guitars give a 10-year-old, in this case, a bit more room to grow. You're gonna cycle through a half or a 3/4 very quickly. Having worked in music shops for quite a while, sizing kids for instruments and dealing with that whole aspect of music education, I have experience in this, and I try to relay that to certain customers. Some take your advice and some just insist on going their own way. So she's going to buy a 3/4 acoustic guitar from a friend, and I guarantee it's going to be, it might be a reasonable model and all that, but it's going to need work. She would have been much better getting this because it's set up perfectly and it's a great learner. I mean, I really, if you're going to do a school program, probably a nylon string is the way to go over a smaller acoustic guitar. But anyway, somebody will grab this. It's a good deal. And I've talked about Ortega before. Very popular in Germany. Of course, these are not made in Germany, but their higher-end ones might be. But this series are Asian-made. But as with a lot of German companies, the attention to detail is good. The parts are good. The wood is this really nice matte finished, sort of open pore finish, sapele and spruce. Good rosewood boards, a nice tie bar bridge, good tuners on this. I don't have to do too much setup on these. Sometimes I have to correct the action and clean the fret end since it's usually coming from a different country. But just thought to show this because I don't feature too many undersized guitars on this channel. But if you need a smaller classical and you don't want one of the really poorly made ones, but you don't want to spend $300 or $400, $500 for one of the, you know, handmade ones from Alhambra or Miguel Rodriguez or something like that. This is just a really good alternative in that mid-range, lower mid-range that there's not a lot of competition in. It seems like with undersized guitars, they're really cheap and poor, or you're paying a premium for them. There's not a whole lot in this intermediate sort of price range around the 150, 200 range, 250. And I think that these are now starting to become, quite commonplace in the U.S. market because of that, because they meet that. You can find small Yamahas and things like that that are just as are really good as well, small Takaminis. But I've found with a lot of those that the guitars are not as good as their full-size counterparts for that model. This is a very consistent run of guitars from the half size all the way to the full size, including this nice 7/8 size, which is a subtle difference between the 3/4 and the full size. And I find it a little bit cramped, but I can actually, if I practice on this, it's not that uncomfortable to play. And there are adults that do buy these 7/8 guitars. They just like the size of them. Women, smaller bodied adults, or adults with smaller hands. They work quite well. And as I said, these are well made. You get that really good gig bag, which you do not get with a lot of undersized guitars. Anything I order from Takamine, even Yamaha, I have to find a bag for it. It's too small to fit in a regular sort of dreadnought acoustic bag, or even the full-size classical bag. So it's kind of a pain to find bags to fit. If you've got a beautiful padded bag that comes with it, it just makes the whole experience much more fun. So anyway, there you go. This is a Ortega R121 7/8 size classical guitar.